you can really still kind of set up your starting rotation to, basically have very little effect of the wild card round because it's not a round. So okay, cool. There's an advantage for winning your division over not winning your division and being a wild card team. We gotta play 2 or 3 games to get to the division round, and we're not able to set up our starting rotation the way that we'd like to. It's got to be what it's got to be. So that's fair, okay? And then nobody's just it's give and take, okay? Compromise, fairness, all right? That's what we're going for here in the baseball playoffs, and the format right now doesn't have it at all right? Also, while we're fixing it, let me pose a potential modification to this as well, which I like, but let's just get it to a 3-game series in the wild card round, to start, and then we'll go from there if more improvements need to be made. But what I would like to see is that we determine the 5 playoff berths by, as we mentioned, the way they do now, 3 division winners, 2 best non-division winning records, okay? There's your 5 teams. How do we seed these 5 teams? Based on their freaking win-loss records. Period. Okay? So in this year's wild card round, 3-game round, you would have had the Dodgers on the road, the Dodgers hosting the New York Mets. Because the New York Mets had the worst record of every team in the National League playoffs, yet they're hosting the National League Championship Series against the Cubs. How does that make any sense to anybody? Seriously? I can't be the only one. I can't be the only one. So that's just another suggestion, albeit a slightly more extreme, radical change than the first one, on how to make the baseball playoff format just more fair, and again, it's not whining about who's winning and who's losing. It's being offended and hurt by the meaninglessness of the 162 game regular season due to the current setup of the playoff format. So and here's my compromise to that. If we take the 5 and then just that's how we do wild card and stuff, we can compromise, okay? Let's take the 2 all 3 division winners can be guaranteed a division round, okay? We can have the 2 non-division winners play their series, to determine the wild card. After that, and we're down to our division round final 4, okay? Maybe then we don't worry about who's a division winner and who's a wild card, and we just look at the records. Or if you still insist that both home teams, home advantages in the division round need to go to a division winner because it's the division round, okay, wild card team is still the wild card team. But then we get to the championship series, the league championship series, and we've got a wild card who's made it all the way and had the second or third best record in all of baseball, by the way, is the only reason they're a wild card, not a division winner, taking on a division winner that won 7 less games than they did. A division winner that was the worst team win-loss record-wise out of all the playoff teams on its side. Maybe then, in the league championship, we go by regular season record and throw out the whole, well, you were a division winner and you're just a wild card. Maybe then we throw that nonsense out the window? I mean, well, why should I be surprised? I mean, it's not like they determine the home field advantage for their World Series championship series via an exhibition all-star game, or something ridiculous and stupid like that. Oh, that's right, they do. Yeah, they don't even let the home field advantage in the World Series be determined by the team with the better record. No, they let that be determined by the result of an all-star exhibition game in the middle of the season. I mean, football, it's on a neutral site, the championship is. So, nothing to complain about. Nobody's got home field advantage, But there is home field advantage in baseball in every round of the playoffs. Whether it proves to be the difference in who wins and loses is, a totally different and irrelevant story. But bottom line, we'll try and put Balls on Fire out here real soon. Is this, again, if someone explain to me how this is fair and right. The team with the worst record out of all of the National League playoff teams has the home field advantage in the National League Championship Series. I triple dog dare you, every single one of you, to come up with a way to explain that and how that is fair and right, because it is anything but. It's a travesty. It makes a mockery of the 162-game regular season in Major League Baseball. Just makes it a total joke. And again, I'm not saying this because of who's winning and who's losing. It has nothing to do with that. I'm forced to suffer through a 162-game regular season to figure out, to set up the postseason, figure out who's good, who's not good, I mean, jeez. I'm sorry. It kills me. And yeah, hopefully it doesn't bother you as much, but hopefully it bothers you a little bit. They complained about it in basketball for the last 2 years on how, we got all these crummy teams, on one side, and you got division winners hosting the first round over, teams that had a better record. And, so what did they do? No, they changed it. Okay, just because people complained about it wasn't even a problem. Okay, but some people just didn't like the idea that, the 4 and 5 seed, technically the 5 seed's better, but the 4 seed still gets to host, because they won the division. I'm okay with winning your division, getting you some reward come postseason. But the proper reward, okay, winning your division shouldn't get you home field advantage over a team that won 7 more games than you did. I mean, jeez. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Anyway, I'm going to try and get off baseball here, put Balls on Fire out, and move on with the show. World Series preview right now. It is definitely looking like the Mets are going to be representing the National League, as like I said, they're up 3-0 on the Cubs. That game going on tonight, probably just got done or is just wrapping up. Turn on TBS or TNT. Let's see here. What is it on? It's on TBS. Mets at Cubs. It is probably 8th or 9th inning right about now. Top of the first. It was when I got to watch. It was runner on second, 2 outs, and some guy at the plate. Anyway, Cubs down 3-0, facing elimination. I hope they can win at least one game here, for their fan base, just to get more games out of it for entertainment value. Because I like this matchup on paper, Cubs Mets, perennial losers. I want to see more of these games. So yeah, hopefully the Cubs can at least give us a 5-6 game series. And hey, today is the day, October 21st, 2015. Today is the day that Marty McFly and Doc go to the future. So it's very possible that they will, be in Chicago at some point in time tonight to correct 2015, get the Cubs back on track, and make them get them to join the ranks of the Boston Red Sox coming down 0-3 to go on to win a World Series. But yeah, looking like it's going to be Mets. And then, as we mentioned earlier today, Toronto held off elimination at the hands of the Kansas City Royals for at least one more game. They will be going to Kansas City for a Game 6. And Kansas City is up 3-2. I also mentioned that Kansas City is the third team ever in the history of baseball to score 33 or more runs in the first 4 games of a series and have a 3-1 series lead. They would become the first team ever to do that and win the series if they go on to win the series. So history suggests that their phenomenal offensive start to this series, in fact, will not result in them winning. But so still remains to be seen yet on Kansas City and Toronto. I picked Toronto from the onset of the playoffs as well as way before then, so I'm definitely pulling for them. However, I'll pull for the Royals, I'll pull for the Mets. Doesn't matter. I just want good, entertaining baseball series and games to watch. That's all I'm going for. The New York Mets are pitching extremely well and hitting extremely well. Daniel Murphy for the Mets has had a home run in 5 consecutive postseason games. So they got some hot bats in New York as well as some very good pitching. Kansas City and Toronto, I would say both of their pitching staffs have been shaky at best throughout these playoffs. I'm up and down at best, I should say. Not shaky, but up and down, hit and miss, unpredictable. But both of their offensives have been very explosive at times, very streaky. So, on paper, the Mets are playing the best baseball of any of the 4 teams right now and should win the World Series, assuming that, the teams continue to play the way they are playing. However, I would say that both Kansas City and Toronto have more talent on their rosters to where if they can, for whatever reason, get back into a rhythm and a flow, whoever comes out of that series winning, because whoever wins that series won't have played their best baseball in every game of the American League Championship by far, and both in wins and losses. Like both teams have played poorly in winning efforts, as well as playing poorly in losing efforts, and all the different combinations of that. So yeah, the way everything's going now, Mets should be the favorite to win. However, Kansas City and Toronto, like I said, both more talented. Should they play up to their abilities, the winner of the American League should go on to win the World Series. Can't wait. We'll be talking World Series baseball on Balls Deep Sports Talk next week, as well as hopefully going over the regular season awards, who got the freaking MVPs and whatnot. And there went the Mets, and a 3-run homer to start out the game in the top of the first. Wow. Mets starting. Looks like Mets are going to sweep the Cubs. Cubs, hey, you guys are way ahead of schedule, just like the Twins. Next year and the year after that and the year after that, you can look to be a serious contender for a long time. And I do believe your time is coming and coming soon. It just doesn't look like this year is going to be your year. All right, let's put it out, huh? There we go. Balls on Fire is officially put out. We are just at about the 1 hour mark, and we've got at least another hour to go here on Balls Deep Sports Talk with me, your host, Scotty Ball. Thanks for tuning in. WNLMradio.com every Wednesday night. Also, every Sunday from noon to 7, Balls Deep Marathon. As well, as excuse me, as well as you can listen